I am literally getting thousands and thousands of phone calls, people stopping me on the streets in crisis right now. They're losing jobs, they're seeing their costs go up, they're worried about their housing. Honestly, I don't care about 2028. I care about stopping the hurting of American people right now. And if Democrats in general, we should not be concerned about the party's future. We should be concerned about people's present, and that's where I'm focused.
There are so many lies that come out of the Trump administration, but to me, one of the worst is this narrative that Carolyn Levitt tries to push about Donald Trump having the most transparent administration in history. And she says that because they do answer a lot of questions, but they answer questions with lies. So it's not transparency. It's just BS. And one of the worst examples of that BS, one of the worst examples of those lies came today in Donald Trump's health report, which was just released and is backfiring on him because of one piece of it that is clearly a lie and one shocking detail that everyone cannot believe is on his health report. And it is completely humiliating. We're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me now. This isn't the first time that there has been a controversy around Donald Trump's health report. We last saw a little bit of queasiness out of MAGA over Donald Trump's health when we were asking about his cognitive ability a couple of months ago, and I think that's important context. So let's take a look.
Should Donald Trump release all of his medical records, Mr. Speaker?
He issued the records of his physicians. Kamala Harris issued her medical records as a diversion because she's desperate because she's sinking in the polls. Donald Trump's health is on display. Everyone in America can see it. The man works nonstop. He never quits. He probably sleeps 4 hours a night. He doesn't require as much sleep as the average person. He's an unusual figure. And this is the strength that we need in a time like this. We're in the most dangerous moment since World War II. You have to have strength. You have to have a steady hand. You have to have a commander-in-chief that our allies respect and our enemies fear. They do not fear Kamala Harris. They do fear Donald Trump.
Mr. Speaker,
that's what people are going to vote on.
Just to be very clear, he hasn't released all of his medical records. He released 2 letters. Should he release the results of the cognitive test?
It's unnecessary. He's on display every minute.
So it's unnecessary. Right. You concede that he didn't release his medical records. You don't want to know things like his cholesterol level, whether he's dealing with any issue that we may not know about if he's going to be commander-in-chief. And he also said he would release cognitive tests.
Listen to your question.
Should he release that?
The American people, Kristen, the American people don't care about the cholesterol level of Donald Trump. They care about the cost of living and the fact they cannot pay for groceries because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policies have put them in that situation. The medical records are irrelevant. Let's talk about things that the American people care about. That's why Donald Trump is surging in the polls, because he's doing that on stages, in interviews, nonstop around the clock, and Kamala Harris has done nothing. Every time she talks, her numbers go down because she is uniquely unqualified to be the commander-in-chief at one of the most dangerous times in the history of the country.
So Mike Johnson, the same guy who kept demanding that Joe Biden take a cognitive test, didn't seem to have the same concern when it came to Donald Trump. This, despite the fact that Biden wasn't out here tanking the global economy with reckless tariffs. Johnson recently claimed Trump didn't need a test because, in his words, we see every day that he's fine. But that's a wild take considering how often Trump has struggled to speak coherently on the campaign trail while pushing increasingly bizarre ideas, many of which he's now actually implementing. If we're going by what we can see every day, as Johnson suggests, then Trump's behavior alone makes a pretty strong case for a cognitive test. Honestly, even the way Trump talks about taking a cognitive test makes it sound like he needs another one.
Everybody, Mr. President, just got back from Walter Reed. Land with you, but I think well. Every test you can imagine. I was there for a long time. The yearly physical. I think I did well. I think they're releasing the report on Sunday. Doctors, highly respected doctors. Great place, amazing place, actually.
Did they give you any suggestions or advice on anything you need to change up?
A little bit, but overall I think I felt I was in very good shape. Good heart, a good soul, very Biden. I took a cognitive test, and I don't know what to tell you other than I got every answer right. I took just a lot of different tests having to do with the heart, having to do with other things, and I think you'll find that they're going to release the report on Sunday. I think you'll find it very.
So according to Trump, his doctor told him he has a good heart and a good soul. But that's not exactly the kind of update people were looking for. Most of us are a lot more concerned about his cognitive health, whether his brain is still functioning properly. And based on what we've seen, that's a fair question. The whole good soul comment just screams insecurity. Trump knows how people perceive him, and he's constantly trying to spin a more flattering image, but it's clearly not landing. And before we dive into the actual health details, which, let's be honest, he barely shared, let's take a moment to hear one of the most bizarre questions from a reporter that kicked off this whole health update moment.
President's physician will do that. I spoke with him this morning.
Carol, will you guys also consider releasing the president's fitness plan? He actually looks healthier than ever before. Healthier than he did 8 years ago, and I'm sure everybody in this room could agree. Is he working out with Bobby Kennedy? And is he eating less McDonald's?
I can confirm the president is in very good shape, as you see, on a near daily basis here. And in that vein, thank God it's Friday. It's been a very long and busy week here at the White House. We will see you all on Monday, and we will release the results of that report as soon as we can. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Are you serious? Is he working out with RFK Jr.? No, he's crushing Big Macs and putting away Diet Coke by the 9 bottles a day. And what's just worse than that, that question somehow is what Carolyn Levitt shared from this health report, this physical that has the internet in a buzz. Let's take a look. Carolyn Levitt tweeted this morning. As promised on Friday, President Trump's annual physical examination results, there were several notable pieces of information, but one that really caught the attention of a lot of Twitter users was that Donald Trump's weight was listed at 224 pounds. We saw one response say, there is no way in hell he is 224 pounds, and an Elon Musk fan of all people saying, good, but come on, no way. He's 224. But that wasn't the only lie or ridiculous claim to come out of this report, with Twitter user Aaron Rupar pointing out beyond parody. The White House cites Trump's frequent victories in golf events as evidence of his health. This is straight up North Korea-style propaganda. What are you telling me, that his fake health report is real because of the fake golf championships that he's won? This is absolute absurdity. Are we serious right now? It's like, yes, dear leader, you've done such a great job handing yourself trophies at your own golf clubs that you're in the best shape we've ever seen anyone. And the 224 get out of here, it's just like, it is embarrassing if they tried to squeak 240 or 230 past us. I'd be like, okay, but clearly not using a round number because they want to be like, well, it was 224 exactly. We're not rounding up or down. That is nonsensical. Stop it. This is absolute ridiculousness, and it's kind of humiliating for Donald Trump that he has to lie about his weight. Really? Are you serious? And after all this time saying that Joe Biden was in cognitive decline, you can't release cognitive exam. All you can tell us is that you forgot about your man, your woman, your camera, your TV. Remember when Donald Trump was bragging about the elephant that he identified on his cognitive test, his dementia test, and he was saying that was a big brag. I cannot believe that he is the oldest person ever elected president. And no one in the Republican Party who loves cognitive tests cares to hear about one of them. This is ridiculous. His cognitive state and his willy-nilly tariffs are the reason our economy is collapsing. And he's being taken advantage of for it. And Elizabeth Warren called that out so perfectly. Right?
I want to put it slightly differently, and that is, it is a mistake to have the President of the United States out there just playing red light, green light, and saying, oh, this morning I woke up and think the tariffs should be this big. Now I think they should be this big. Now I think they should be somewhere else. And I got to say, saying, well, I will continue to make those decisions, and I'm going to hold off on these tariffs for 90 days. That doesn't put the economy in a better place. That doesn't put investors in a better place. Congress has a job right now, and that is to step up and take this authority away from Donald Trump. He has proven how he will use it. But remember, the statute that he's now using starts with a declaration of emergency. And in that same statute, Congress has the responsibility to decide, is it really an emergency or not? Are we really in an emergency with Belgium right now? Are we really in an emergency with South Korea? Congress can say, no, there's no emergency. It's a resolution. And if we do that, it takes Donald Trump back to the trade as we had it before. And tariffs are then decided with Congress having an important say in it. And that's an important signal to the rest of the world. Right now, it's a no curbs on Donald Trump, and that means chaos and corruption. We have an opportunity in Congress to vote that down and to say, no, we are going to use tariffs in a far more targeted way. We're sure not headed in the direction he wants to go. All of the Democrats are ready to support that. But we got to get the Republicans, or at least some of the Republicans, on board to make that happen. They've got to decide, is their job just to suck up to Donald Trump, or is their job to stand up for the American people?
JP Morgan says the odds of a recession are now 50-50. Goldman Sachs puts the odds at 45%. You were one of the loudest voices warning about the 2008 financial crisis. What do you think the likelihood of a recession is right now?
Well, it's the economists, it's Wall Street, are all.
A 90-day pause, except for the ones on China and except for the 10% across the board. You called for the SEC to investigate whether President Trump intentionally manipulated the market or covered for insider trading when he told Americans on Truth Social and in the Oval Office that they should go invest in the stock market before he announced that pause on the tariffs, and the market soared afterwards. Have you seen any actual evidence that insider trading was going on instead of the just general advice he gave for people to invest?
Well, there are people who have looked at what happened to purchases and to calls just before he made that announcement that caused the stock market to skyrocket. But let me be clear with the back and forth here. That's what investigations are for. And it's entirely appropriate to have an investigation to make sure that Donald Trump, Donald Trump's family, Donald Trump's inner circle didn't get advance information and trade on that information. This is just, this is how the stock market works in order to make sure on a consistent basis that nobody's trading on inside information. And by the way, Jake, the same thing should apply to Congress. And that is, we should have a rule that no one in Congress.
There's clearly insider trading happening around Donald Trump's tariffs. The CEOs and big donors, the ones who threw a few million at his inauguration or campaign, are reaping the rewards. They can just call him up, shower him with a few compliments, maybe mention how great he did in a golf tournament, and then ask for an exemption. And of course, he gives it to them. Why? Because he's easily flattered, not particularly sharp, and thrives on corruption. That's the whole game. The wealthy and well-connected find ways to profit, while small businesses, the backbone of the American economy, get crushed. Trump doesn't care. The so-called party of business shows time and again that it's all hypocrisy. It's all BS. And speaking of BS, Trump himself is in bad shape, mentally, ethically, and politically. But someone who's in great shape and didn't hold back in calling him out, that would be Cory Booker. Let's hear what he had to say.
All should be speaking out against it.
Senator, let's talk about the future of the party. Apparently, Vice President Harris is still weighing a presidential run in 2028. Do you think Vice President Harris should run again?
You know, I know Vice President Harris. I don't think she's concerning herself with 2028. I think she's concerning herself, like most Americans right now, is why do I have a president that's attacking due process?
But do you think she should run again? Do you want to see her run again, Senator? You supported her. Do you want to see her run again?
I am literally getting thousands and thousands of phone calls, people stopping me on the streets in crisis right now. They're losing jobs. They're seeing their costs go up. They're worried about their housing. Honestly, I don't care about 2028. I care about stopping the hurting of American people right now. And if Democrats in general, we should not be concerned about the party's future. We should be concerned about people's present, and that's where I'm focused.
30 seconds left. Very quickly, what should the message from Democrats be right now, Senator?
We should be focusing on the American people. This is not about party. It's not about left or right. It's about right or wrong. We are in a moral moment right now in our country with a tax on Medicaid in order to give tax cuts to the wealthiest in our country. This is not who we are. We need to fight to defend American jobs, American costs and economic security, American health care. We are in a real crisis with the bill that the Republicans are pushing and the assaults on the integrity of this country and the constitutional principles. It's time to stand up and fight back against what's happening. And this is not just for Democrats. It's for Republicans in Congress that whisper to me privately their concerns about what the president's doing. This is a moral moment. It's time for more and more people to stand up.
Senator, yes or no? Are you considering a run in 2028?
I'm focused on today and my reelection in 26. I've already announced to the people of New Jersey, I'm hoping they'll allow me to be their senator for another 6 years. And let's be clear, I'm proud of the work that we've done over the last 6 years. There's been no senator that has had a better record of bringing resources back to the state of New Jersey. So I'm focused on the now, working to defend folks, and God willing, being reelected in 2026.
All right. I don't hear you ruling it out. Senator Booker, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you'll come back soon with that answer when we come back.
I don't know what all this 2028 talk is about. Sure, sometimes it's fun. I've partaken in it myself. But come on, guys. There are more important things to focus on right now. The economy is quite literally imploding. So if we could take a beat on, that would be fantastic. We're certainly covering it every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.